back. Was my volume working okay? Yeah, my volume is working okay. Good. Oh, okay, we're back. It is Tuesday, April 15th, tax day. Hopefully you got them all in there, right? Taxation is theft, according to lovely Lucy, which she's not wrong. But I think the deadline is already passed, right? Because it's 8 o'clock. So anyway, welcome back to Whitty Reviews. I'm your host, Steve Whitmer, a.k.a. Slick Whitty, a.k.a. Baron of Banville, a.k.a. the most feared man in central Indiana. That's right. We are leveling up week by week. First, there was most feared man in the Republican Party. Then there was most feared man in Indianapolis. And now I'm the most feared man in just central Indiana in general. Legislators don't want to email back. All these shit talkers on the internet, they don't want to meet up in person. Nobody wants to talk crap to my face. Go figure. A bunch of cowards, a bunch of pansies. Go figure. Anyway, doing good, doing great. So a lot of things to get through. A lot of things that have happened since last week. And I know last week I said I was going to do the weed video, which I was going to. Kiff in the house. Let's go. Oh, that's right. I got to change this real quick. So I got like a different setup this time. So I have my notes right here, which I know I'm going to screw up. And then right here, I have what you're seeing behind me because I have a green screen behind me. And then to my right, I have the chat, which I'll have to like look. And every now and then I need to figure out a different setup. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Also, don't forget, this Saturday night is movie night. The Micah Beckwith and Greg Taylor interview dropped yesterday. I watched a few minutes of it and I said, you know what? We got to watch this together because for those who have never watched or know who Greg Taylor is, he is the most insufferable person you will ever watch. Without a doubt. Kiff, am I right? A Special Power watched, we were watching the some of the Senate last night because it ended at like 12:30 last night. And a Special Power messages me, goes, who is this person? They are the worst. And I go, I know, right? And I have to watch this person multiple times a week. The worst. All right. So anyway, so for those who aren't already, make sure you're following Indie Reporter. I will be the field reporter for the Franklin Township Data Center thing tomorrow. So I will be live tweeting on here because I am not allowed to tweet on here. I'm allowed to talk on the chat. So when the chat drops for the live streaming, I will be the one chatting, nobody else, because I am just a cute and sweet little guy on the chat. Just kidding. But I am not allowed to touch Twitter, and everybody knows why. Also, where's my mouse? Make sure you're following Whitty Reviews. I think I missed 2 videos, and I'm going to do them this week, probably Thursday. And then also, if you're not already, yeah, Drew, you are correct on that one. Go and follow R. Ann Franco. For those who don't know the lore, R. Ann Franco is really good at AI, as you can see from the random beaver shot, and also the creator of the Indie Reporter logo, which that already has its lore too. But make sure you give a follow to R. Ann Franco. All right, so things that happen. All right, producer John, get ready to roll that clip if you have it ready. So why I'm not doing the weed show is its own thing too. So I showed this clip to John last week, and this might as well be called the Schmitz Amendment, because what Kyle Walker did is that he introduced this amendment that would basically have it where you can appoint random people to precinct committeeman positions and let them vote in the caucus. So how it normally works is if someone dies or someone retires, so like Jack Sandlin, he had a heart attack like a year and a half ago. So they had to have a caucus of who was going to replace him. It was Sidney Carrasco and John Jacob. So the only people that are allowed to vote are the elected precinct committeemen. Am I right on that, John? I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. I don't think the vice PCs are allowed to vote. So that's how you do it. Now, what this amendment would do is it would allow anybody that is not living in that district to vote in that caucus. so they can be appointed. They don't even have to live in the district. They can say if you're going to have someone who lives on the west side or someone who is an elected official on the west side and they live on the east side, that east side person can be appointed to the west side person and then vote in that caucus. Now, why would they do this? Well, it's the same thing that they did to John Schmitz at the GOP, Marion County GOP convention. They appointed 300 plus people so they can make sure Natalie Goodwin becomes chair of Marion County GOP club. If you got the clip, go ahead and roll it. Oh, hold on.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the Senate. This amendment would just remove some language that had to do with political party appointments and political party caucuses. Happy to answer any questions, but ask for your support.
Mr. President, thank you, members of the Senate. This is one that my friend Senator Walker and I disagree about. I understand the amendment's going to pass. I just want everybody to understand. County chairman stopped me on the back just a little bit ago and said, "Oh, this is a terrible idea. Like, you got to take this amendment." This is what we're doing here today, just so everybody understands. So when somebody wants to vote for me on election day that lives outside of my district, when they go and cast that vote, they are committing a level 6 felony when they do it. But with this amendment, what we're saying as public policy in Indiana now is this. When someone dies in office and we have a caucus, if somebody that lives outside of that district is an ineligible voter, we're saying that it's okay for them to tell the people in that district who their candidate's going to be. I am devoid of understanding that public policy. So it's a felony on election day, but we're okay saying this person's going to, look, this issue's been baked. I'm good. Every county chairman, every district chairman, they're taking away all the power. But in a political party that is trying to give government to the people, I do not understand why we would do this amendment. I understand it's going to pass. God bless them. Good. That is not good public policy.
You know what's so funny about this, though? Aaron Freeman, who is right there, he endorsed Natalie Goodwin. He knew exactly what was going on for the Marion County convention, GOP convention. And that he's against it, but he knows that over 300 people were appointed to make sure Natalie Goodwin. By the way, he endorsed her too. It's the most the irony of this thing just blows my mind because you're against it, but you're also okay with it. So which one is it? My suspicion is that he didn't know what was going on. He probably should have, and he just said, "Hey, I'm here to vote for Natalie Goodwin because I heard about her, and then I was confused by all this bad talk about John, and I'm just going to listen to whatever Cindy Mallory tells me because she's my mommy, and I listen to what mommy tells me. I'm just a good little boy." And he goes in there and votes for Natalie Goodwin like a good little boy that he is because he just listens to what mommy tells him to do. Yeah, any restricted public access counselor. But this is how this whole thing, and I believe it gives more power to the county chair to remove people from candidacy. So if the county chairman doesn't like you, he can remove you from being a candidate and install their own person. That's how crazy things are getting right now in Indiana with all this stuff. It's pure corruption. And by the way, Democrats can say that they don't like it, but they like it too, because eventually they'll have power and they will want to maintain power. But how did this whole bill become? I was telling this to, actually, Drew, I believe she did. I don't know if it's already paid in full, but a Special Power was asking about this, and we were in the YouTube chat earlier. And how this whole bill actually started was from Ethan Lawson. And Ethan Lawson is in Hancock County. And there was their commissioner, their Hancock County commissioner daughter steps forward as the woman he sexually assaulted in Las Vegas. So originally, who was the sponsor? Gaskell actually says oh yeah, so we had this guy in the Hancock County and he went to Vegas and he ended up leaving with a level 1 felony for sexual assault. Well, guess who he sexually assaulted? His daughter. And so they didn't have any procedure of actually getting this guy out of office. Now you might be thinking that it's codified. Yeah, codified cronyism. Thank you, Brad. You get it. Spiro in the house. Let's go. Yeah, because it's all handshakes and hand jobs at the end of the day. And that's why they wanted him onto there. That's how this whole bill became something. But then what happened? Now they're looking at it as like, hey, you know what? Let's like turn this bill into a giant Frankenstein monster and like just, I don't know, let's go crazy, you know? And then they saw what happened to John and they said, hey, let's do this for everybody. Hey, can't we just be in control for everything and have our own people and install them? This is why the county chair position was so important. And this is why Central Indiana is pretty screwed. And it's not just Marion County. It's Hendricks County with Philip Clay. It's Hancock County. And guess who Hancock County chair is? Oh, Ethan Lawson's wife. And then Boone County's totally screwed. And you have Hamilton County with Ragu in there. And then the guy who's trying to get more EB5 illegals in this country. Like Central Indiana Republicans are nothing but corrupt GDP bros. They just want to be invited to the party, have their garbage bourbon, keep sucking off their cigar like it's a giant dong. All right, I got to relax. I still got 50. I got like 40 minutes left. I got to relax. All right, another thing that I thought, speaking of weird corruption, Senate Bill 465, certified technology parks. I don't know much about this one, but I thought it was interesting that Huston, what the crap is his name? I don't know. The House Speaker said there was House Rule 47, and Meltzer was not allowed to vote on it. And what is House Rule 47? A conflict of interest. Any member who has a direct personal or pecuniary interest in the result of any question shall be excused and shall not vote on the question. So basically, her or her husband or somebody that is very close to her has something to do with this technology park. Smells like corruption to me. What do you guys think? Does this all smell like corruption? And this is what we see in the council as well. There are so many people, like a quarter of the council, that can't vote on a lot of these things because they have direct relationship with it. Like Krista Carlino, she works for Recycle Force, and Recycle Force gets city money. And then with Maggie Lewis, she is the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club in Indianapolis, and they get city money as well. Taxpayer money. When I say city money, it is taxpayer money. Yeah, it sounds like data center. It sounds like a whole lot of weird stuff because there's like different levels to it as well. I didn't dig that deep into it. I wanted to see what happens down the road. All right, so last night was a rough one. Special powers, not last night, just a rough one. I ended up falling asleep to this thing. I watch this stuff more than anybody else in the Indie Reporter crew. And then I just relay it back. I clip it. Hey, does this look okay? All right, send it. No big deal. And it's really easy because since we all have the login, I can just put it on there, save it, or schedule it. Hey, this schedule is for an hour, in an hour or a couple of hours. Yeah, it was so tiring, is right. Special Powers watching it with me from across the state. And so HB 1001 is the state budget. This started at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that, because they were supposed to start at 1:30, but I don't think they started. Yeah, they were supposed to start at 1:30, but they did not start until like 3 o'clock. Yeah, it was angering too. Kif, did you watch it too last night? I don't know what time you stayed up to. I stayed up to like 11:45. The last time that I looked at the clock was like 11:43. I thought I just put my head on the couch, and I was like, "There's no way that these people are." I called it too. It's like, this is going to go to midnight. So they spent. Where is it? Okay, yeah, and this thing had 73 amendments. All right, 73 amendments. And let's just, you don't believe me, look. These are all amendments, by the way. These are all amendments. That starts at 414. Where the crap is it? Right here. Can you see it? Oh, okay. Right here. Second, yeah, 414. And then it's just nothing but amendments. Nothing but amendments. And then finally, it got voted on. And I spent 4 hours talking about HB 1001. Now, when you going back and watch the videos, it will show like part 1 or part 2. They literally had a part 1 for one bill, for just one bill. Unbelievable. And ended up passing, of course, but I think I had some notes on it too, maybe. No. Maybe I didn't. Okay, this was about SB1. All right, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. First things first, though. Are we good on that? Okay, so yeah, it ended up passing. Let's just take a gander at it. The only people that voted no were all Democrats. All the Democrats voted no. Shocker. All right, so I don't think I have any notes on it on that one because it's the House bill for the budget. Yeah, I don't think I have any notes on it. All right, so this was pretty funny. So how the lore on this thing is that Representative Andrew Ireland posted a picture of the potholes, probably by him, if I had to guess. And he was like, what the crap is going on here? You know, so many craters. And so I ended up looking this up and then sending it over. Did the math on this thing. So this is the Minority and Women Business Development. And this is the DEI department. Can you see it? Okay, you can see that. And over the last 3 years, they have spent almost $7 million on DEI stuff. Now, what's so funny about this part is like this chick, which we have had beef for a long time. She goes, what's wrong with an office that provides free? First off, it's not free. You just spent $1 million on it this year. It's $1 million of the budget. Resources to minority, women, and veteran disabled owned businesses. Oh, you're talking about that one. Okay, so it's actually not. It's $1.4 million budget. This is an affirmative action department and ensures equal opportunity for them. Tell you what, if you're good at your job, you're going to get hired, okay? It's literally that simple. But there's an ordinance in Indianapolis where depending on the contract that you have to have a certain amount of women, minority-owned and veteran-owned businesses be on the project. And it was so funny because I remember Lakeisha Jackson. I was telling Special Power about this last night. Yeah, Special Powers talk about Greg Taylor. Lakeisha Jackson, right? Speaking of, though, I pointed that out too. Lakeisha Jackson was the one that said that she wants Black people to become millionaires off the Signia Hotel project. And it's like, doing what though? Like, you're not going to become a millionaire off of this. There's no contract on there that's $1 million for, unless you're doing like the concrete or you're like doing like main foundation stuff, maybe drywall, maybe trim. I don't think so though. Maybe a couple $100,000, but not $1 million. So Jesse, of course, gets mad, which is so funny because he was nice to me. So I'm just having fun with him now. It's gotten to the point with Jesse that I just don't give a shit, that I just know that he's a fucking dope. But we both don't like corruption, but he's like the fucked up brain. Sorry. I'm getting so mad right now about everything and I'm trying not to curse. Yeah, 15% of the contracts must go to minorities and only 6% is at the current level. Yeah, so they throw a big deal about that too. And the TWG project, for example, they were bragging about like, oh, guess what? We're going to fill our affirmative action quota. I was like, how about you just try and get the project at a good budget that we're paying for, by the way, because it's off of revenue bonds provided by the city. Because they have their own, and I know Jesse's probably watching. It's like, that's not actually how it works. Well, listen, we're on the hook for it, all right? And we shouldn't be. If a bank is telling TWG, hey, not a good project, why should it be on our backs when our roads are completely messed up? So, we went back and forth on this. Not me personally, but I was messaging the person that runs the Twitter account. It's like, hey, send this, send that. And it's like, it's just simple. It's like, what office does he lead? And then he couldn't figure it out. And basically what it came down to was he doesn't believe that the Minority and Women Business Development department is a DEI department, which it is. So whatever. All right. So also moving on, there was an amendment to a vote or to a bill that passed 52-4 authority, and they're calling it's the homeless. If you're homeless, you're going to get arrested. Well, that is not exactly how it works. And Matt Parrott puts it perfectly. If you're not following Matt Parrott, make sure you do. Matthew Parrott. If you get past the intentionally misleading headline, the law grants law enforcement officers greater authority and discretion in dealing with vagrants on public property who refused referral to charitable services. It's a good bill, one that improves lives. And that's what Andrew Ireland. So Andrew Ireland was the one that had the amendment for it. And that's what he was pointing out is that, hey, guess what? The only way to get to these charitable services or homeless shelter is in the back of a squad car. So if you're slumming it in Garfield Park, guess what? You're going to get taken to a homeless shelter instead of being a vagrant on public property. Now, for all you residents in Garfield Park, for all you alleged homeless advocates, if you have a problem with this, let them stay with you then. And I guarantee you, you won't. If you do, you're probably going to kick them out within the first couple of hours because they're going to be stealing your stuff and taking dookies on the kitchen floor. So, this article kind of goes into it a little bit, but overall, this was just a standard. Oh, this is Russ McQuaid too, which is kind of wild. There's a Russ McQuaid L, big time L. So, funny enough, the San Jose mayor is doing the same thing. He plans to arrest the homeless who refuse shelter. Silicon Valley religious leaders say criminalizing homeless contradicts faith traditions. Well, I'll tell you what, those religious leaders are dopes. Ignores reality of the crisis. Why? Because these are all, most of them are all drug addicts. This is the homeless industrial complex in a nutshell. If you give money to these people, they will continue to stay homeless because all they want to do is get high. And this is going to be something I was going to talk about on my weed video, of course, was that even if you, and I can already hear the weed advocates right now. Oh, if the weed was legalized, then, they wouldn't have to deal with this. Well, if you look at a lot of these overdoses, they're from fentanyl. They're not from weed or not from weed, but they're still dying from fentanyl, even though weed is legalized. It's been legalized for 10 years. Yeah, exactly. Drew, that's at Brad. Yeah, all $3 million of it. Yeah, it's so true, though. Hey, that I have a problem with that. $3 million on faith-based initiatives. It sounds like a scam, or as Hoosier Inquirer would said, gemstone scam. And Democrats think if taxpayers pay for it, it's free. That's very funny that you point that out because Shelley Yoder, not Shelley Yoder, who's the other crazy broad? Carrie Hamilton was pointing that out. Who's that? Who's this person? I don't know. Seems like another. And pointed that out, like comparing how much it costs for a homeless shelter compared to housing. It's like, okay, so we're just going to give free housing to all these drug addicts that there's not going to be any restrictions on these people as well. Bong hits. Yeah. I would have no problem legalizing weed if we completely got rid of welfare. If we got rid of Section 8 housing, all this taxpayer subsidies for the homeless stuff, I would be okay with it because I would just deport all these people to California. And that's actually, that's always been my plan. If I were to become mayor, you would say by the way, let me finish this real quick. So what they neglect to say on here, and there's an Instagram video as well talking about it, which I will put in the chat. Oh, I don't have it in the chat? What? I don't have it in the chat? How do I not have it in the chat? Wait, can I join the chat? Where's my freaking mouse button? Can I put it in the chat? Oh, can't put it in the chat. Whatever. You have 3 chances. All right. If by your 3rd chance, if you're not going into a homeless shelter, you're getting arrested. You're going in the booty box and you're getting your shit pushed in. Sorry, not sorry. Enjoy your ham sandwich while you're at it. But this was always the funniest thing. It was the same thing. If you say you got 3 chances, then we're going to deport you to California. That's what's going to happen because you can get $400 a month or a week and you can get free needles and you can just stay in sunny California. But the mayor of San Jose is on board with this plan. So this is not a new thing. And I kind of wish that I knew this so I can, kind of push it up there. It's like, oh my God, Republicans are trying to criminalize homelessness. Actually, Mayor San Jose is on the same page. Speaking of cray though, and wasting taxpayer dollars, so there's also this bill. There was in the Republic, okay, so there was a Brown orders aimed to keep coal plants online, advance nuclear, sidestep climate changes. Here's the most important part. They are creating a nuclear coalition that would sign into a law 424 that would charge your customers for some of the cost of developing these plants. Now, this is just development. This isn't even like doing anything as well. Bong grips, not hits. So basically what this will do is that the utility company can get 80% of their money back without even putting a shovel in the ground. And then the rest of the 20% is done by a rate case, which should be just called a rape case, because that's what's going to happen to the taxpayers if any of this happens. And they can go to the IURSC, which is the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission or Committee, whichever one it is, and they can plead their case and say, hey, we want the rest of the 20% back. They have a chance to get 100% of all their money from the taxpayers, by the way, from the ratepayers, as they would say, without even putting a shovel in the ground. This is just development. This is just research, permits, buying equipment, etc. And this was a great point by Mike Young, my senator, the greatest senator that has ever lived, actually. Please stay there forever. He asked Couch, who is the sponsor of it, he says, do I get my money back if it doesn't go online? He's talking about small modular reactors, and he said probably not. And right here, like I showed you in this article, and you know what? I don't care about the climate change thing. I'm not one of those people. I just want my money being spent on a proven technology. We know that natural gas works. We know that coal works. They're not going to be building any more coal plants. We already know that. And the ones already around are probably too expensive to maintain. So there is always natural gas. It was kind of funny, though. Trump had like an executive order to like keep coal going, which part of this bill, too, does keep coal going. It doesn't just kill it off, which credit where credit is due, as they shouldn't. And they'll do a study on or some kind of investigation of how much energy it would take. But to like, how much energy would we lose? It was this 424. Yeah. All right. So back to I got plenty of time. So back to Andrew Ireland, though. This was pretty awesome. I know Brad was there yesterday. Friend of the show, Brad, our proudest librarian, my librarian soldier. A great friend of the Whitty Reviews show. Make sure you come down on Saturday night, Brad, for movie nights. You're gonna love it. You're gonna get a good taste of delicious yummer taste of Greg Taylor. So there was a rally yesterday at the State House of all the red shirts, the teachers. There was IPS, there was union. Brad, if you're in the chat, who else was there? And it looked like they used the company school bus as well, our taxpayer-funded school bus. And so Andrew Ireland had this amendment that would basically, I don't even have it pulled up. Oh, hold on. Don't I have it? I don't have it. Crap. Hold on, let me see real quick. I had it up where basically if you were to take the day off to go protest, you couldn't. Do I still have? Yeah, there it is. All right. School corporation may not convert a scheduled instructional day to virtual instruction under this section because of the planned or coordinated absence of teachers or other personnel for the purpose of participating in a protest, demonstration, or political advocacy event. And if you did, then you would get a reduction in state tuition support under subsection B for each day of violation. So basically, if you're going to have virtual school because you're protesting, you're going to lose money. Now, Brad did not. I don't think Brad liked this at all. And how was it, though? How many people were there? Because there looked like there's a crap load of people that were there. Brad. So, looked like there were a lot of people there. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. So I ended up getting pooled, apparently because it wasn't germane. But Andrew Ireland did say that they're going to work on it next year, which, Democrats, guess what? That means you just gave him more time to fine tune it. We're just going to be like, boo, arrow, target, let's go. I mean, if anything, this does send a message to all the school corporations. Hey, I thought you cared about the children. You're going to put some I'm not going to make fun of student aides, by the way, because I know that some of them on the show are them. But hey, what about the children? If we're going to play that game. Also, today, thought it was pretty cool. You had your make Indiana healthy, or was it crap? What was it actually? Not that I'm thinking about it. Was it make Indiana healthy or make America healthy? Make Indiana healthy again. Okay. So RFK Jr. was there, Bobby Kennedy was there, and we had the boomers, of course, the liberal women, the absolute downfall of society. But this is what was cracking me up too, are the fat people. And when I say fat people, more than property tax relief protest, the one that were brought light to everyone. Hey, we're going to talk about that here in a second. Hey, don't you worry. I got plenty of that going on. But this was pretty funny. They did have a T-Rex here. Very clever on it. But listen, if you got a problem with making America healthy again, you can't be fat. And that's the truth. And some of these people I see ordered their Amazon white coats, pretending that they're doctors or some stuff. Yeah, no fat people allowed. It was a pretty good press conference. I watched the whole thing. Basically, we're going to be outlawing fat people. They're going to be in a velociraptor cage. The only way to escape is through a Stairmaster. We're going to have like a nice little pig pen full of water for you guys, not Gatorade, but actual H2O. And that's the only way that you'll be getting fed or getting water. And then we're going to give you planned meals too. Not just planned meals, but it's going to be at coordinated times. There's an actual word for it again. I forgot what it is, but so this is going to be the first step on eliminating fat people. And if you don't survive, sorry, some of you will not make it. And when I say fat people, I mean like 20, 30, 40-year-olds. I'm not meaning like, oh, I'm 50 or I'm going through menopause. Not me, but women, if Democrats know what that is. And we're not talking about the boomers, maybe late Gen Xers, but if you're saying your 20s and you got a big old belly, that's a big problem, fatty, because you're going to get outlawed. You're going to be running for your dear life, which will hopefully make you healthy again. You're welcome. But other than that, RFK Jr. was really glazing Mike Braun a bit, saying that he even said that I want all the governors to do what Indiana is doing, because now they're doing Medicaid waivers. This is what Braun signed Medicaid waivers on soda pop, whatever you're calling soda pop, sugary drink. And that's what they put on there. So, hey, sorry, people. No more hot Cheetos for you. No more candy bars. They're taking it off a SNAP. Only healthy food, because that's what it's there for anyway. This should have been done a very long time ago. Also, is this it? Yeah. Also, this eventually passed. And I think this goes back to the Senate now, 478 for craft hemp flower and THC products. Very interesting. So Micah Clark, who runs American Family Institute Association, I forgot what it is, but he has a video every Friday going on with the statehouse. I originally talked about, oh man, the brick, I forgot about the brick. Oh, whatever. So this is on Indie Reporter. These based Republicans voted no because we know where this is going to go. This will eventually lead to the regulation of weed. And if you want Indiana to turn into a blue state, this is exactly what you'll do, because this will create more fat and lazy people that just want to self-castrate themselves, can't get their dick hard anymore, and they'll just want to watch anime porn and eat Uber Eats. And they'll just say, hey, guess what? I don't want to work. I feel disabled because I'm having a bad day. I need to go on welfare. I need to get Medicaid, but give me more weed because of mental health and stuff. And this is what's called weaponized empathy for morons. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying the most, because if you look at every state, weed has not fixed anything. In fact, you have deficits, you have more mental health, you have more wasteful spending. Weed has not helped anything. And before I hear somebody else talk about alcohol, guess what? Alcohol has been around for 100 years. And you think I had a problem? If you think that I have a problem getting rid of alcohol, then you're crazy, because I have no problem getting rid of that as well. Cry more, booze bags. I don't care. You guys don't see anything in the comment. How do you like that, huh? But this was an interesting vote, because you have Democrats and Republicans voting no on it. And somebody had made a good point. I don't see them on here, though. This guy had a really good point. Yeah, usually it's bad policy to pass a bill when only 56% of your side, Republicans, supports a bill. I'm fine with that, Brad. I'm good with that. While 76% of the other side, Democrats, support it. Yeah, usually when Democrats really support a bill and the Republicans don't, that's telling you something. Kyle Carson knows what's going on. He gets it. Yeah, and also apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently Rokita was against this thing. And listen, I understand what is going on. Oh, we legalized THC and some craft hemp flower stuff. I forgot exactly what it is back in 2018 with the Farm Bill. So now everybody legalized it. So it's like, oh, great, there's no regulation on it. Well, you got two choices. Either you're going to regulate it or you're just going to get rid of it. And since Indiana is looking at it, it's like, well, we only care about money. We don't care about the health of society. We're just going to keep it legal. You can fix everything by just making it illegal. It's literally that simple. You can fix this because it's not a right. All right. And I already know what you guys are going to go with. You're going to say, oh, but my guns. Well, that's a right. Getting high and fucking taking forever at the stoplight is not a right. Yeah, make Indiana less fat. And this is the problem. This is my point about weed. There's too many fat people. If you want my endorsement on legalizing weed, get rid of welfare, make it harder to get welfare, make it harder to get a driver's license, and make fat people illegal. I will, because when they interview, when my tax dollar, you want to know why, Brad? Because when my roads are fucked up and I see a bunch of fat slobs and I have to pay for their health insurance, that's my problem. That's my fucking problem. If my roads were fixed, now you're pissing me off, Brad. If my stuff were fixed and I don't have to worry about getting in an accident because some dipshit illegal is on the road and wants to rear end me, or he's on his phone because Essay doesn't understand English, that's where that interferes with my life. Would I have to pay for some fat slobs insurance because they don't want to get out of bed because I'm having a bad day and they just want to watch anime porn? If my tax dollars were fixing the freaking road and not having to go and do that, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Their life, their degeneracy is interfering with my life. That is my problem. So anyway, now you pissed me off. Every person that wants weed legalized should be advocating for getting rid of welfare. If they want it legalized, fine, get rid of welfare. Get rid of welfare, get rid of SNAP, get rid of EBT cards, get rid of all that stuff, because all that's doing is making more degenerate idiots. If my roads aren't fixed, you're not getting your weed. And I haven't, look at Illinois right now. Their weed is legalized. There's legalized weed over there. Oh, I'm sorry. How many gun crimes are there in Chicago right now? Oh, I'm sorry. How are their roads doing again? Oh, I'm sorry. How many people are leaving Chicago right now? Oh, I'm sorry. They've had the lowest population since the Depression. Really? But weed will fix this. Freaking low IQ people. That's what this is about. It's just morons who think that legalizing weed will fix everything. Look at California. You have a higher fentanyl overdose in California every year. It increases. But you morons are going to tell me that, oh, if weed was legalized, it would fix all this. You shouldn't even be allowed to drive. You know what, Brad? You're getting deported. All of you are there. Higher deficits too. How many billions of dollars is California in a deficit? How many hundreds of $1,000,000 is Michigan, Illinois, Nevada? All of these states have a deficit, but yet they have weed legalized. All it is a bunch of goon heads who want to come, and these are usually lonely single people who have nothing better to do with their lives than nut in their sock, watch porn, and smoke weed. I got 10 minutes left right now, and I still got like a bunch of stuff to do. See, this is what pisses me off about the weed people. They never have an argument for me. I could debunk all of your claims right now. I had a whole weed show that I would literally debunk all of this stuff. Ballot initiative, you're going to get deported too, Drew. Yeah, you want every place to be like Indianapolis. You want every place to smell like skunk. You want every place in Indiana to look like a shithole, like California, like tents everywhere. You want every place in Indiana to look like Skid Row in California. Go ahead and legalize weed, because once you legalize weed, you just open up the floodgates for morons, for people who don't want to do anything, who'd rather do drugs than actually be a decent part of society. Weed whackers. Yeah, and what was happening about that? Oh, you want to talk about brothels too? Hey, I get it. Oh, I know. All the weed heads now are going to be pro-prostitution. Hey, yeah, let's bring in more child trafficking, because we know that's what happens. We already see it in Europe. We already see the Eastern Europe stuff. Hey, let's bring in more child trafficking, says the weed head. The problem is that all of you guys just don't get it. Your argument is, I just want to get high. If weed means that much to people, there are plenty of states to go to. Move there then. Me, I'd rather deport more people than bring in those people. Anyway, all right, SB1, I got like 10 minutes left. All right, is there anything else? Energy production zones. Basically, you're taking away local regulations. That's the truth. No, you can lump that shit in, because that's exactly what happens. And you're just too short-sighted to see it. That's the problem. That's when you have people who see the entire picture, and you have naive, short-sighted people that don't get it. You want to see what happened. And that's the problem when you live in a red state with Indiana. You don't have to deal with those problems. Tell you what, Brad, move to Marion County. Move to Marion County, and we'll see if you change your mind or not. You won't, and you don't, though. And that's what pisses me off about all these dipshits that move to Hamilton County. Oh, it's all nice and everything. Oh, trails are great. Low crime. Oh, that's great. But then there's like, let's vote for Democrat, though. Hey, let's turn this whole place into a giant shithole. Hey, go down to Mars Hill, all right? Come to my part of town. Let's see how much you like it. Is that what you want? Is that where you want, in Hamilton County? Yeah, let people grow their own. Oh, don't you worry. The cartels will just take over then, just like China, just like all these Chinese mafia groups are taking over then. Dude, every part of your argument gets debunked immediately. Oh, let's bring in more violence. Hey, let's bring in more violence so we can let all these cartels take over. Surely we'll want to be like Mexico City, where all their mayors were getting decapitated. Surely that's what we want. But all you short-sighted, naive people are just like, oh, no, I believe in people. Well, that's because you're an idiot. And that's the truth. All you idiots think that people will actually have self-control. Well, look, what is the obesity rate right now? Huh? How many fat people do we have right now? What's the number one death in America right now? Oh, it's heart disease. Why? Because there's so many fat, lazy people out there. We used to have people that had self-control and self-discipline. And now the problem with it, all these atheists that want porn in libraries are taking over and saying, oh, no, we can take care of ourselves. Hey, I just want to do what I want with my body. And all these Anderson librarians are just like, if I want to watch child porn, I should be able to watch it. Who am I hurting right now? Oh, if some person down the street wants to give hand jobs for money, what's the big deal? Maybe I'll want one, says the librarian. Jeez. Yeah, the roads are nice in Hamilton County. I wonder why that is, huh? I wonder why that is. Oh, wait a minute. You saying that Garfield Park has great roads? Gee, oh, no kidding. You're saying that Mars Hill has great roads? That's so crazy. Oh my God, you guys are making me lose it right now. Anyway, speaking of Speaking of morons, Eric Couch, Senator Couch, decides that, hey, let's get rid of local control and we're just going to put SMRs in front of everything. I think this has to do more with coal plants. If there's like a dying coal plant that they can put an SMR. Matt Pierce had a problem because you can't put wind or solar in there. So anyway, all right, screw this. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of Illinois, hey, Democrats, cry some more because Indiana's about to become way more red. Eat it. Sucks for you. Guess you're gonna have to move up to Chicago. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I'm sure Chicago is really lovely right now, right? Oh, you're telling me that people are leaving Chicago, the lowest population since the Depression? That's so weird. But I was told that Democrat cities are so nice and great. That's crazy. Who would have guessed? Short-sighted morons. That's it all. This is why I'm totally okay with Republican and Democrat zones. This is why Hamilton County's turned purple, because there's too many freaking morons from Indianapolis moving up there and saying, hey, this is a nice place. It'd be really cool if we turned librarians into porn hops. What else here? SB1. All right, SB1. We're going to talk about SB1. Finally, all right, I got like 5 minutes left. So SB1 got voted in at 12:18 last night. Funny enough, Carrasco, Young, and Freeman all voted against it. Very weird. Obviously, Democrats did because they want to throw more crap in there. Yeah, see, 12:18 right there. You good? Good. And then what happened earlier today at 3:12, Mike Braun signed SB1 into there, which is crazy. This is kind of funny by Mike Felker. You literally did what we see daily in D.C. Who would have thought Indiana politics was just as functional? This is the funniest thing ever because everybody thought this wasn't going to happen. I thought he was going to veto it. I thought that he was going to be like, screw it. I'll go for the theater and just veto it. And he didn't. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I kind of know what's going to happen now. But this, I think, was a bad take by Rob Kendall. Why? Because, and you know what? He can talk about this on the show and maybe he can explain it on there and try and dunk on me, but I'm talking about it, so I don't care. Also, this page right here, little angry Rob, is freaking hilarious. He's just mogging Rob constantly as Indiana is back. So how much backroom brawn stand to make annually off raising the business personal property tax exemption to $2 million? And this is what happens when you don't have a business. Like, you don't understand that you have to pay business personal property taxes on your equipment. Now, what they did on this one is that they changed it from $80,000 to $2 million. And they only made it for things that you bought after the bill passes. All right, so I did a little ChatGPT stuff. Yeah, I know. Kip is right. So what is business personal property taxes? John knows too. What is it? Things like machinery, tools and equipment, furniture, computers. So I was comparing it back to a former life of mine. Say if you have a tire machine, since a tire machine is tangible, you can touch it, use for business operations, not permanently affixed to the real estate. Typically, it fits in a standard definition of business personal property taxes, which is so crazy because I thought Rob was against taxes. Apparently he's not. He thinks that Mike Braun is going to be big business. Oh, we're only caring about taxes off the rich or whatever. Well, if you have a small mom pa tire shop and they say, hey, I really want to buy a new tire machine, and they say, but it's really expensive and I only get $80,000 off of my exemption right now. If I want to buy all this new equipment, well, I would rather have a deal. So what happens if from $1 million for next year and then $2 million for the following year? But here's the trick. If it's more than $2 million, you have to pay the business property taxes, right? Those with an equipment acquisition cost below the threshold now be exempt. So that means if you spend $1 million in new equipment, you will not have to pay business BPPT. If you spend more than that, you will have to pay BPPT. So for the small business owners, this is a W. And for the larger business owners, you're probably paying it anyway. So I don't understand why Rob has a problem with this. Whenever I talk to small business owners and they're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And it's all because Braun and his team did not have good marketing. In fact, their marketing is crap. They do not know how to talk to normal people. And this is what happens when you're an elitist. But apparently next Monday, there is supposed to be a property tax rally in front of the governor's mansion, a place where the governor does not stay at anymore. Instead, he rather waste $100,000 of our tax money on fortifying his house in Jasper. This was very interesting. The rally would oppose a quiet move in the state budget of HB 1001 to strip control of Trust Indiana from the elected state treasurer and hand it over to bankers. This was talked about on Rob Kendall. We posted it on Indie Reporter, the whole thing with Dan Elliott. Don't worry, I got 2 minutes left. So this is what I think I found. Dan Elliott did talk about that Travis Holdman had a provision in HB 1001 that would take control away from him on what he's allowed to invest. And I think this is it. The bill amends provisions regarding the investment authority of the Treasurer of State. It removes political affiliation requirements that apply to members appointed by the governor to the Board of Depositories. So basically, there's going to be a board that decides or gives him advice on what they should be investing on. And why? Because Travis Holdman is a banker, and the banks want their fees. They want to know, because Dan Elliott said that he has made the state like $500 million in the last 2 years of his investments. But I know the Democrats will get mad because some of that was in Israeli bonds. So I don't know what Jamie Rittenhauer is doing. Maybe John wants to have her on the show and find out what this is all about. If she really wants to help, try and get some based people in the state house. You know, this whole governor run was good for her, and I get that she wants to be involved still, but like this is like a libertarian move where you're just constantly trying to shoot for the home run constantly, and I don't know. But also Thomas Sowell, the national treasure that he is. I want to finish off with this. Someone once said that taxes are the price we pay for civilization. That may have been true when he said it, but today taxes are mostly the price we pay so that politicians can play Santa Claus and get reelected, which is 100% the truth. And there were some things on here, but that was about it. So what's next now? Well, now that second and third reading is over, now we go to the House calendar for the concurrences. This is where they're going to be talking about this stuff. We will be streaming at Indie Reporter. Yes, I will be in the chat and talking crap. So get over it or join the chat. I don't care which one. All right. So with that being said, we're done. SB1 more like BS1. That's right. Did I miss anything? I don't know. So don't forget. So I'm going to talk about the weed thing next month because we still have like a week and some change in basically there's next week. The April 30th is the deadline. They have to be done by April 30th. They're probably going to be done before because they're already starting on conference committees and concurrences. They kind of already started out in the House, but the Senate is just loaded. And it's going to they probably will be there until the last bell, if I had to guess, but who knows? So anyway, that's it. I'm done. Bye.